Good evening and welcome to Greater Somerville for July 2nd, 2013. I'm Kyan Anderson. Tonight's topic, culinary creativity in Somerville and how many local entrepreneurs are taking advantage of a venue known as Kitchen Inc., an incubator space for innovation that has put Somerville a step ahead in the local foodie arena. Our guests tonight are no strangers to creativity, as their small businesses have taken off thanks in part to their unique ideas and the very premise that this organization was founded on. Tonight we speak to the owners of Black Magic Coffee Company and Union Square Donuts, who are on the cutting edge of this culinary trend. They're here to speak with us about how they got started, why Kitchen Inc. has been so vital to their business success, and what you can do to transform those premature business plans into a satisfying career while simultaneously building community. Please join me in welcoming on their debut appearance here on Greater Somerville, David Simon and Heather Schmidt to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, hey, technical difficulties, but we're going to edit all that up, folks. That's the beauty of TV. We just sat there in the dark for about a minute, so I apologize to the viewers at home that really wanted to hear us talk. So I'm really excited about the show. I've wanted to do this for a while, and I just think that, what better way to kick off the holiday week than to talk about donuts and coffee and all the other tasty treats that we have in our city. So we're just going to do a little chit-chat to find out about each of you individually, because I'm always fascinated by, how people come to where they are in life, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get into a little bit about Kitchen Inc. and go here. So we did lose a minute, so I apologize. Maybe I'll talk a little faster. David did bring some coffee, and I let him know that I am indeed naturally caffeinated, so I don't need any of that. But anyway, so David, you're originally from Binghamton, New York.
That's correct.
And you've been in Somerville for 7 years.
Yep.
Which is technically you're a lifer now, because 7 years and above.
Right, that's me.
So where are you living in Somerville? What neighborhood?
Right around the block, actually, just down the street from here.
Well, down the street, and you work down the street.
And I work down the street.
You must get it. Do you get over the river every now and again, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I must make sure. So you are the founder and owner of Black Magic Coffee Company, and you've been a coffee enthusiast who deeply respects the process of making coffee. Mm-hmm. So you're wanting to make it a memorable experience.
Yeah. I want it to be more about the experience, and less about the taste, but a lot about the experience.
Okay, and you've always been a lover of coffee, like since you were a little kid. Were you always?
No. My introduction came, I would say, much later in life. It was really the fault of my wife. I blame it on.
The fault, blame it. Okay, now you're going to get me in trouble, David. No, I'm just
for buying me an expensive espresso machine at home.
Okay.
And it sort of took off from there.
So now here's a question: you were working as a recreational therapist in the healthcare industry, and you began to explore many methods that you could get a good cup of coffee, thanks to your wife, whose name is Nicole. Gotta say hi to Nicole. And then coffee and cycling, you were those two hobbies that you had, and then you got some sort of a job that was it was a bike shop coffee bar. Mm-hmm. Now, where was that?
That's in Lexington. Yeah.
And what's the name of it?
It's called the Ride Studio Cafe, and it's a combination bike coffee shop. And so, I'd left the healthcare industry to go work in the food industry.
Okay.
And
one thing led to another, and all of a sudden you were building custom-built coffee carts.
Yeah. It's been quite exciting.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to get to your company a little bit, but you have a couple of tips. I just put down tips because everybody wants that good cup of coffee, and they can't always have you in their kitchen. But you had a tip on an AeroPress for travel because it's compact, light, and a great cup of coffee for people that travel out there.
Yes.
AeroPress.
Yep.
How's that different than just a French press, may I ask?
It's a slightly, they say, cleaner cup of coffee.
Okay.
So a little less sediment in your coffee.
Okay.
And
you
much
can take
easier
it on
to
the
travel
plane.
with. Yeah, real easy to travel with. They actually have competitions now around AeroPress.
Really?
Yeah, championships. So
wow,
it's really taken off.
And I'll hear about that in a little bit. And then you don't want to skimp on good coffee grinder.
No, this easily the single most important piece of equipment.
Really?
Good grinder. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it goes beyond the coffee. According to you, we're creating this sort of memorable experience. So how many cups do you drink a day? Are you an addict or?
No, I drink one, maybe sometimes two. Yeah.
1 to 2 a day.
That's really all I drink.
Okay.
Unless I'm working, I may have more, but it's really just to taste.
Yeah.
It's not to consume a lot of coffee.
To consume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now Heather.
Yes.
You are originally from?
I grew up in Foxborough, which is, just
South
there.
A
little south. So I'm a New England girl.
You are. And how long have you been in this area?
In this area, well, a couple of years. I actually just moved to Medford. That's right.
Okay. Now, here's what happens, folks. I do my homework, and I write these little scripts, and I pass them out. And then I say, okay, everybody add their little notes. And I didn't know she was, because I always buzz people because I'm like, okay, are you Somerville? You're not.
No.
You're contributing to our community. You're fine. You didn't tell me about this. This is completely unscripted.
I've been making donuts all day. I'm sorry.
Okay. Blame it on the donuts. Blame it on this. No, I'm just kidding. So you moved to Medford.
I did.
Okay.
I mean, I've been back and forth.
You live at the donut shop.
I've lived in many places in this country and beyond.
You're credible. You're totally credible. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I'm recently just moved to Medford. Love it.
Yeah. It's really close.
Close to Somerville. Can run here. Quick
Nice.
3 miles. It's great.
And now here's a question for you. Now you're a trained chef. And you crafted pastries at Clear Flower Bread, Radius and Rialto. And was that always, did you always do that? Or give me a little background.
Oh gosh, my background is all over the place. So I did go to culinary school. I've been trained professionally. I've worked in some really phenomenal restaurants in this city. I've been very lucky. Radius, one of them, Rialto, and then Clear Flower Bread as an artisan bakery. They're phenomenal. But I also took a little jaunt in between my, working in the restaurants, and I have a degree in music. I've been a musician for years.
What do you play?
Voice.
The what?
Voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Little
so
guitar,
she'll be serenading
little
us
voice,
later.
little guitar, but
Great.
I guess that's the artistic, creative side that always comes out. You know,
Yeah.
and that shows in the product that we make.
I love it. Okay, so now you are an owner not only in the Union Square Donuts, but you also do City Chicks and then Homemade Modern.
Homemade Modern is I changed the name from City Chicks.
Is it City Chicks?
It's Homemade Modern Company now.
It's
I've changed
Modern Company.
it.
Okay.
And we do modern day home ec classes.
21st century home ec classes and parties for the modern day homemaker.
That's right, which is what I am.
Yeah, no, I love that. So your classes cover everything from brewing coffee, where you bring in the guest, the expert, David here, or you just making donuts, or shucking oysters.
Snout to tail butchering was a very popular class.
Really?
Canning 101.
Canning is all the rage these days.
And canning you can do all year long. It's
Really?
not just a summer thing for jams. You do winter stocks, winter
Really?
soups. It's great.
Yeah.
Canning.
Okay.
Sewing. Did a phenomenal sewing class as well.
Okay, so you sign up for these classes. They're in the evenings, or some of them are on the weekends, and you just go onto your website. We're going to have all these websites on our website, so you can find it there. But you can just sign up for these classes, and they range in price, and you get these phenomenal classes, and you learn how to just do incredible stuff, which I should probably. I'm going to sign up after this. Technology 101 is what I need. That's fascinating. Now, let's just talk a little bit. I think one of the reasons why this show for me was it was just so interesting, because there are really so many amazing businesses that are popping up in the Somerville area. And, you guys kind of just came to mind, and I was like, you know what? I need to do a show, because Kitchen Inc. is the same idea of the shared workspace, similar to some of these shared office spaces, because I'm an architect, so it's there's a lot of shared spaces for us. However, this is for an industrial kitchen, because a lot of limitations on these smaller businesses are they don't have an industrial kitchen readily available to them. So tell me a little bit about this, and because you both started there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it that drew you into this organization? I think it was really recently.
And I think it's about 2 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure,
Yeah.
but that's my guess.
So how did you come upon it? Were you just just walk us through it. You had an idea, and then you're like, oh, here's an organization that supports.
I came upon it very organically. I worked originally with Cuisine and Locale. And they're one of the businesses that work out of there. They're a locavore catering service. And I was with them as they moved into Kitchen Inc. And then from there, I was able to grow my own business, so I started my business out of Kitchen Inc. And then I met my future business partner, Josh Danoff, who we do Union Square Donuts together. Mm-hmm. He also owns Ocean Ave Pops, which is a popsicle company, and he was doing the popsicles out of Kitchen Inc. And I developed all of the popsicle recipes for him. So I was lucky enough to have my hands in lots of different businesses that were involved in Kitchen Inc., which is part of the community atmosphere atmosphere there.
You
I
play
hooked
off
up-
each other's
it's,
ideas.
ideas. Dave and we did a class together, coffee and donuts. I taught people how to do donuts, and Dave did this great coffee segment with people using the AeroPress,
Yep.
which was really awesome.
I'm excited.
It's better when he makes it.
Yeah. You know, we had actually met there.
We
I don't know
met,
if
and
you
that's
remember,
how
but
we
yeah,
met,
had met.
yeah.
I had first met Heather.
Okay.
Not when I was part of Kitchening. I'd just gone to an event there, and we had met there. And it was around that time when I was looking to start a business. And so just naturally, I sort of fell into that place. And with it being so close to home,
Yeah.
you know, it obviously made a lot of sense.
Well, so here's the question. Literally, it's at 201 Somerville Ave, so it's very close to here. So in terms of, do you rent? How does that work? Because I did go to the website in doing my little homework, and it made me like fill out this application, which I didn't do because I'm like, well, I'm not ready to start a business yet. But anyway, how does that work? Do you? I mean, because I know the spaces are limited, so you know there's only enough for a certain number of
Business.
entrepreneurs. Yeah. So and then you apply. Is there a waiting list, or did you have to?
Yeah, I believe
do you have
now
to
there's
do
a
to-
waiting list, but yeah, it's an application process, and part of that application process is you know obviously the licensing piece of everything that you need to go through with the city.
So I'm sorry, walk us through it really quickly. So you have to go through and get a license with the city to kind of your business license, right?
Yeah.
For
you need a
business 101
license.
here, I'm not, you know, so okay,
Yeah,
so you have to get your
There's
business
other
license
you know supporting documentation you need to bring to the city.
to show your legitimacy
Exactly.
in order to get in there.
Exactly.
And they
Yeah.
can do a month
Well,
to
and vice
month, or
versa.
is it like 6, or do you lease it like a house, or how does that? I mean,
Yeah, you sign on. I mean, you're just
and then it's a month to month. No, it's just you don't have to commit to like a full year's worth of.
Well, I mean, we're at a new location, so I'm not, you know, I don't know how what the structure of is it.
Yeah,
of it
it's,
is right now.
it's month to month, as far as I know. Yeah.
Okay, some other businesses. You mentioned one, Cuisine and Locale. Culinary Cruisers, City Chicks, or your new, sorry, I got it wrong, the
It's quite all right.
homemade
And
modern
actually,
Inc.
you know, we're all at this City Chicks Homemade Modern and Union Square Donuts. We're at a totally new location now. So what's great about Kitchen Inc. is it's served its purpose as an incubator kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, we started there and we outgrew the space and we got our footing there and we sort of graduated, which is amazing. Like that's exactly what an incubator kitchen is for. You know, to foster these new businesses and have them move on and grow and become bigger and foster new small businesses to come in.
And it really is an important step because I think that for a lot of people, maybe some viewers at home that are thinking, wow, it would be wonderful to start something. It's such, I would think, it would be a daunting task. And to know that there is this space locally available, they're very welcoming and helping you through. I mean, do they help you through some of the business? Obviously, you have to have your business plan, but I'm certain there are some people that you're able to reference or utilize their, like you're saying, you're kind of growing off of each other and throwing out ideas and getting knowledge and growing your business that way.
Yeah, I like to think of it as a safety net for food startups. You know, so you really get to test out your product and see if your business is viable.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
From there, you move on, graduate,
Yeah.
if
And
you will.
Graduate, you know, it's
Yeah.
and that's the purpose. It's really great. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so for those of you, we'll be having these on our website, so you can check that out. So now we're going to talk a little bit about Black Magic Coffee Company. It was founded in 2012, and it's based on a mobile coffee and espresso bar,
That's right.
which you built.
Yeah, I didn't personally, but a
You
friend
didn't?
of mine. I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. Bad facts. Sorry about that.
I would
Okay.
like to take the credit for that, but no, a close friend of mine is a carpenter, and so
Okay.
together we designed it, and he built it.
Okay.
And
I apologize, folks, because I probably shouldn't even come clean with this. But I did have images, and for some reason that is not working. So we're not able to see this beautiful espresso bar that I had in there. So I apologize for that. But so you specialize in providing premium coffee catering services, all occasions, including festivals, weddings, etc. So you basically, so tell me, where did you? So you get people that call you and say, okay, can you come to our event, or do you also do? Various markets and things of that nature, correct?
I do, yeah, I do a little bit of both, but the bulk of the business is event-based, where yes, I would receive a phone call or an email, and someone would inquire about having coffee at their event.
Okay.
But then in addition to that, I do some markets where I sell by the cup.
Yep.
So a little bit of both.
How do you decide on the bean? I always am fascinated by all these, because there's so many different coffee shops around, and it's just like, do you do research and go, okay, I'm going to fly to, Costa Rica and look at some beans?
Yeah, well, I mean, so I
Ain't too
work
bad.
I work with a few small micro roasters, so I buy my beans from these roasters.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a process to that because there's a lot of good coffee out there.
I know.
But these are folks that I had met over time, and try the coffee, I've enjoyed working with all of them, and it's just been that in itself has been a learning experience. So it's been wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to Union Square Donuts, founded in February.
Valentine's Day was our first day,
Yeah.
our opening day.
2013.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It was fun.
Co-owner
It was a
Josh
blast.
Danoff,
Yeah.
Culinary Cruisers and Ocean Pops, which I had there. And so you're at 16 Bow Street in
16
Somerville.
Bow Street, yep.
And you're sharing the space.
We are.
Correct, with
Yeah.
Cafe Tango. So it's
That's
Union
correct.
Square Donuts by day, Cafe Tango by night.
Match made in heaven.
That's actually, I was thinking that is a very creative idea, in that there are some businesses that, are just naturally busier in the evening, and you
Yeah.
guys sell out. I had a friend. This was the day that I talked to you. I go down there, and they're like, okay, they're my little foodie friends from downtown Boston. They're like, oh, we're making a pilgrimage to Union Square Donuts, Kai, and you have to meet us. And I said, well, funny, I actually want to do a show. So it was so ironic, I ran into you. But they grabbed a donut for me, thank God, because it was sold out by the time I got there.
We're okay.
How does that work? Is that just kind of like the buzz? Are you kind of like,
No,
it's like
no.
the people at the bars that, stand outside because
No.
like everybody thinks, oh, wow, the bouncers are like, oh, let's keep 25 people outside.
It's
Even though we're not in New York
intentional.
City.
It's not intentional.
It's not, okay.
It's not. We opened on Valentine's Day at the old location, and I was overwhelmed by the response. People were waiting in line the second we opened. I just have so much gratitude because people were just so enthusiastic about what we were doing. And that day, Josh and I looked at each other and we were like, okay, this is bigger than we thought it was going to be. So clearly we outgrew the space at Kitchen Inc., which is what the purpose is, which is great, and we were able to move into Cafe Tango. So we're at 16 Bow Street. It's a great use of the space. It's such a beautiful space right in the heart of Union Square, and she can only be open at night, and we're only open during the day. So
Perfect.
it's a really great way for two small businesses to coexist.
So now you guys are known for very unique flavors like maple bacon and chocolate chipotle.
Yes, yeah.
And how do you talk about creativity? You've got all these different types of coffee. Endless types of donuts.
It's
really.
so
How do you
much
decide?
fun. Oh my God.
Can you do it's going to be June, so what's a theme in June? Like
can do whatever we
summertime,
want. We
like
can do whatever
beach
we
ball
want. Yeah.
berry or something for June.
Yeah.
See, look at that. Just comes out.
And this is what happens. We're in the shop. We're rolling out the dough. We're like, okay, what about this? What about this? What did you see at the farmer's market today? I saw strawberries. I saw nectarines. I saw this. I saw that.
Strawberry shortcake.
All right, perfect. What are we going to do? What's also amazing is that all these other companies are reaching out to us. We're going to be working with Grand 10 Distilling. They're a local distilling company right in South Boston, and they're famous for their gin, but they make this beautiful almondine liqueur. So we're going to do a nectarine almond cardamom jam filled donut using this almondine liqueur from Grand 10. So we're partnering with these awesome local businesses to create these really cool flavors. It's so much fun.
Do you have a backlog? Because I would think, as a
Yes.
creative person, it's like I'm building way too much stuff, and I always am like, oh my God, I got to do this. So I have a list of all the stuff I need to build because I just don't have time or money, for that matter. You must have a backlog.
I have a Google Doc, and it's not just me. This is my company and Josh's company, but it's our company with all my employees. They're amazing. They're so talented.
How many employees do you have?
We have 16 employees.
Wow.
We had 3 in February. And we have
That's
16 employees now. We are at a lot of farmers markets.
Yes.
So we have part-time employees at the markets, part-time employees at the retail shop.
Okay.
But it's an effort for all of us. So I have a shared Google Doc, and everybody's just throwing ideas up there.
Do you
left
ever
and
take
right.
ideas from
So
the audience? The people at home.
course.
Be like, hey,
all the time.
if you get like a flavor of the month, you can be like, you get 6 free donuts or something. I
All
don't
the
know.
time.
Just giving
We
you ideas.
are working. No, that's funny you say that because
You
we
know?
are working on something like that, doing a donut contest.
Ideas right
yeah,
here.
I know. All
Greater
the time.
Somerville. So you're always sold out. So what happens? Can you order ahead? Like, because you cater and you do events, but do you? Like, how does one, like, say I'm having a birthday party and I want Union Square donuts
Absolutely.
and coffee? I know I can call David. Can I call you?
You sure can. We're actually getting a lot better at not selling out. Our
okay.
numbers are hitting it just right with the times we want to be open. But
Okay.
But absolutely, we've been doing weddings, baby showers, bridal showers, birthday parties. People will call. I need a few days notice, because
Yeah.
for production purposes. But call the shop, place the order, and I'm happy to take orders. Happy to take orders.
I just need to mention this. So my co-host Joe Lynch, so we can only have 3 people on the set. So I pretty much kicked him off. I said, Joe, I am talking to the donut and the coffee people. You can stay home. And he's like, well, as long as you bring me a sample. I said, well, I can't guarantee that she's bringing samples. I said, I know I'm getting coffee, but no, I'm just kidding. So we've got about 5 minutes because I knew this was going to kind of roll. So I'm just going to go through a couple questions just because, again, both of your businesses, the idea of Kitchening, how it kind of brings in your co-owner Josh made a comment about the Brooklyn of Boston, and I'm sure
I love him.
I know, right? Somerville is the new Brooklyn of Boston, which. I mean, hey, I like Somerville, clearly, so I'm not going to deny that. But, like, what was it about this area that made you, I mean, you were close by, but, I mean, I think now that you've been here and are established, don't you think, or, like putting words in your mouth, sorry, I mean, is there something about our community, because it really is, the support of the community, as well as amazing ideas. Like, do you think that Somerville, it's taken off, like, because of, like, what is it about this area?
Yeah, I think it's really up and coming. Somerville is in Union Square, I think, in particular. But I really like the vibe, in Union Square. I think it's really creative. There's a lot happening, a lot of small businesses popping up here and there. And I really like the energy.
Yeah.
It feels like a good place to be with a food startup.
There's a lot happening right now in Somerville, especially in Union Square. All these awesome new restaurants coming up. There's Bronwyn, Journeyman, Back Bar, all of these great places. But what I found as a small business owner in Union Square is that not only are the other small businesses really supportive of what we're doing, our customers are fiercely loyal, and they are so community oriented, and that's what Somerville is. I mean, Somerville loves Somerville, and it's such a tight-knit community between the customers and the other small business owners. I don't know if we would thrive as well as we have anywhere else. I'm so happy to be here. I love it.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think one of the questions I did have, I'm just going to kind of skirt around it, but I do think that you guys have, this really unique product, like niche, right? And the Dunkin' Donuts of the world and the Starbucks of the world, I'm just really thrilled to see 2 individual companies kind of thriving, as well as the other ones that are at Kitchening. But really people saying, well, why come and pay $3 for a donut or expensive coffee, good coffee? And I think you guys both nailed it in a certain way. I guess the experience and just the unique flavors and things that you can't get elsewhere. But what's something that you might say to those people out there that are not as loyal as Somerville people?
Well, what I say to that is what we're doing is a small batch, scratch-made product. We make between 4,000 and 5,000 donuts in a 4-day period. We hand roll all of that dough. We hand cut. We hand shape. We use real eggs, real butter. We hand squeeze all of the orange juice that goes into the orange ginger cream pastry cream.
Wow, good thing you have workers.
It is a handmade product, a small batch product that's made with such love. We have so much fun back there, but it's a pastry. It's not coming out of a machine. It's not made with chemicals. It's not made with preservatives. It's a pastry that's made in a very small batch way. So we're so proud of what we're doing, and I just hope everybody else enjoys it too.
So what about you?
Yeah, it's for those same reasons, that you come to us, you'll be buying a product that you won't find at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
So when it comes to coffee, what it really boils down to is what you hit on earlier, which is the bean. There's something special in that, and honestly, we've converted a lot of people
You've converted.
We have converted a lot.
Wow, that's a pretty strong. No, I'm just kidding. So, what would be a recommendation for some people out there that may be contemplating, maybe on the edge of starting a new business, and whether it's in the culinary arts or not? What advice do you have for them, and why do you enjoy what you do, and that could maybe help them just get over that hump, if you will? What do you think?
There's a lot of red tape, and don't get discouraged by it. Because once you get through the red tape and the protocol and the, all the things, all the paperwork that you have to do, at the end of the day, you are your own boss and you have your own company and you have the power to be as creative as you want. And for me, I was having a bad day the other day, and I just walk into the shop, and one of my retail staff is just stamping boxes with the little Union Square donut stamp, and the music's playing. I'm like, this is mine, and these people are amazing, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, I would certainly recommend people reach out to the SBA, and that's what I did very early
SBA.
on. The SBA,
Somerville Business Association, right?
Yeah, the Small Business
Small
Association.
Business Association. Sorry. Okay.
Who are extremely helpful, and you work with a mentor. So in my case, I worked with a food mentor who walked me through many of the the obstacles that I might encounter. So I would strongly recommend that.
That's great advice. Okay, well, I'm going to have all their resources. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they have websites. We're just running out of time. And you will be up, you're going to be at the SOA Open Market in the South End every Sunday and the Union Square Warehouse beginning July 6th.
This Saturday,
so everybody come on down. And the Union Square Farmers Market, as always, come to that July 6th, this Saturday, 9 to 1 p.m. So I'd like to thank our guests, David Simon and Heather Schmidt, for stopping by Greater Somerville tonight to give us a glimpse inside Black Magic Coffee Company and Union Square Donuts, and sharing with us their opinions on how Kitchen Inc. plays such a vital role in keeping the local culinary scene on top of its game. Their businesses are living proof that with a little imagination, a lot of hard work, and a backdrop of community support, that anything is possible when you live in Somerville. So please visit our Greater Somerville website to find all the relevant links from tonight's episode, as well as to visit our past episodes. And that does it for us tonight. Thank you to the viewers at home for watching. As always, stay safe and stay informed. Good night, everyone. So,
do we high five at the end of this? Or?
Yeah, we high five. High five. There you go.